Welcome to the Stacked Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we run down all of the top stories and exciting announcements shared on our website from the past 7 days. Firstly, we'll kick off with a bit of admin again, as I like to do at the start. Just as another heads up, we have the Stack Supplement Expo coming on June 14th. So it's a little over 2.5 months away. I've got a whole bunch of brands signed on and excited to present and announce and introduce and inform at the Expo. As I've mentioned before, as a visitor, all you need to do on June 14th or the week of June 14th is head to stackedexpo.com and you'll be able to go in, check everything out, give it a visit, take part, interact, and pretty much do what you would do at a regular expo, obviously minus the physical side of things. As mentioned, we have a lot of brands on board and involved. Glaxon's going to be there, Inspired, Core Nutritionals, Muscle Tech. I believe Ghost will be there as well. Applied Nutrition out of the UK. I mean, it's a pretty extensive list. We have a maximum or a limit of, I think it's like 50 to 60 brands. It is, of course, an online expo, so it's not like we have space limitations like you would at a convention center. But the reason we have that limit is mostly because as we've gotten to that, when we've played around with 40, 50 brands, and even we started out with like 30 or so, we found that as the numbers go up, even though it is a digital expo, to fit all of that into, like, let's just say you're on a mobile screen and navigating through all of that can get quite difficult. So we will probably be sitting at the maximum this time around. But if you're a brand, of course, reach out. We have a few spaces left, but it's filling out, and we are excited to bring everything again on June 14th. Now we move on to the news summary portion of the podcast. As I mentioned, this is the episode where we run down all the top stories shared on our website last week. And we have a lot of stories, but interestingly enough, most of them are coming from just a handful of brands. There are quite a few stories. The first one we're going to kick off comes from Ghost. So Ghost, of course, being our brand of the year for 2020, they have been incredibly busy for the first half of this year, dropping products, teasers, reveals, releases. It's been pretty intense, and not too surprisingly, brands that tend to win the Brand of the Year award do kind of continue and keep that consistency and momentum going, and Ghost is doing precisely that. So last week we got news that it is launching another flavor of its recently released pre-workout Legend V2. And that flavor is going to be another authentic collaboration, something one that fans will have seen before for other supplements. When Ghost originally launched Legend V2, it had 6 flavors to choose from. There was peach and blue raspberry, so those were its 2 sort of typical regular flavors. And then we got Sonic Cherry Limeade, Sour Patch Kids Red Berry, Welch's Grape, and Warhead Sour Watermelon. The new flavor that is coming to that is Swedish Fish, which fans of Ghost will know from two other supplements in the brand's lineup, and those are Ghost Gamer and Ghost BCA. Ghost BCA being the first supplement Ghost ever did Swedish Fish for. But as I mentioned, we have multiple stories from this from all the brands we're sharing today. Alongside that, Ghost revealed and released another collaboration with an ambassador or athlete. This time around, Ghost partnered with, believe it's pronounced Kylie Miller. She is the warehouse manager of Ghost. And if you remember last year when Ghost announced or launched or introduced Ghost Glow, she was actually one of the first people that kind of previewed it, described it, and teased it and talked about it on her Instagram. In fact, we got a lot of our original details on Ghost Glow from her Instagram stories, where she was really informing and educating people on what Ghost Glow was, everything that was in it, why it's in there. So it's kind of fitting, I guess, that she gets the first ever Ghost Glow collaboration flavor. This is really the another first for the brand. earlier this year, or not that long ago, it launched a special edition flavor of its green supplement, Ghost Greens. That flavor was passion fruit, put together in partnership with its ambassador, Ali Bess. And yeah, that passion fruit Ghost Greens was the first time Ghost had ever done a special edition flavor, not only with Ali, but for a product that wasn't Ghost Legend. All of its past special edition collaboration flavors were for Ghost Legend. And I'm meaning special edition collaborations with the ambassadors, and I'm not counting the obviously the Chips Ahoy, Ghostway, and all that. I'm talking about flavors that have been put together with people and individuals. And so Kylie's special edition flavor of Ghost Glow is really the second to do that. Again, the third product overall. Ghost Legend, Ghost Greens, and now Ghost Glow. And anyway, so Kylie's flavor is Nana Berry, which is a strawberry and banana recipe. And unlike the passion fruit Ghost Greens, where they really only put in the original formula, the regular formula of Ghost Greens. Now, the reason that was interesting was because all of those other collaborations we had seen Ghost do for Ghost Legend, each of them kind of had something different or unique about the formula. Max Tunings had the added Vaso Drive. Again, Christian Guzman's original one had a bit more caffeine. So there are always these little features and special additions to the formulas, but that wasn't the case with Ali Bess's Passion Fruit Ghost Greens. That is, however, the case with Kylie Miller's Nana Berry Ghost Glow. She has had Dermavol added, a premium branded ingredient added to the supplement to help reduce collagen breakdown as well as improve natural collagen production. So in a sense, just further empower the benefits, goals, and effects of the supplement itself. Not only was that flavor revealed, or we posted about it last week, but it also became available last week as well, and you could pick it up from the brand's website. And the news doesn't end there. We also got news that Ghost is coming out with another new category of supplement. Now, already this year, it's released and confirmed several V2 products, Legend V2, Ghost Pump V2, which we're now currently in testing for full review. We also know Ghost Size V2 is coming, as well as Ghost Burn V2, so a new version of its simulant fat burner. And in addition to that, Ghost has also confirmed that it's working on a protein RTD, which I believe is launching this year. It's also working on a hydration supplement to help performance and endurance. And this past week, Ghost confirmed it is also working on a joint support supplement. So these are very, interesting, not necessarily just really filling out the brand's lineup, put it into areas that it's not really in. So far, Ghost has really done a great job at hitting a lot of really important categories and making them, really signature, mainstream quality supplements. And it hasn't really hit these smaller categories that we've seen. And joint would be that, hydration would be that, and obviously the protein RTD is a little larger, but Ghost is really looking to fill out its line this year, and that's on top of all the V2s and revamps it's got coming and released. So that's a lot of news from Ghost, but the string of news doesn't end there. Also last week, we saw the reveal and release of 3 all-new health-focused supplements from HD Muscle. Now, if you're not familiar with HD Muscle, they kind of came to market, I think it was early last year they came to market. It's a Canadian company, very standout, very signature look to its supplements. It's a bright white with hints of yellow and black, and they came flying out of the gate with just a solid selection of supplements, loaded pre-workouts, and they earned themselves a nomination for Newcomer of the Year last year. Obviously, that title was taken by Glaxon, but they were not far behind. They had an incredible initial lineup. Just to give you an idea, some of their, they have, I think it's like 3 pre-workouts. That's not including, I don't know if they have a stim free, I'm trying to remember. They have Pre-HD Ultra and Pre-HD Elite. They also got a stim supplement, which I think might be called Pre-HD Stim. I'm not sure on that one, but they do have a more stim-focused supplement. But the Pre-HD Ultra and Pre-HD Elite, just to give you an idea on a couple of the key highlights, each of them has 8 grams of straight citrulline per serving, as well as 2 grams of premium arginine nitrate. That's obviously not all that's in the supplements, but those dosages are just, a glimpse at what else that thing has. Both of those supplements are just loaded with ingredients, and that theme is consistent throughout the brand's lineup. Each of the categories it's tackled, it's kind of taken that fully loaded, packed out approach, and it's been impressive to watch. It's been impressive to see the brand tackle different categories and bring that angle, that detail, that advanced style of formulation to these categories, almost like Morphogen, except Morphogen, I guess, goes a bit deeper into some areas. But last week, HD Muscle kind of did what Morphogen does and brought their style of advanced premium formulation to 3 categories that, I guess, aren't your typical pre-workout amino, protein, and so on. So HD Muscle introduced Sleep HD, Kidney HD, and Liver HD. Sleep HD, of course, is a dedicated sleep support supplement designed to help you get to sleep and recovery. And I've always been a big fan of nighttime supplements, and this one I thought was quite cool because, see, when it comes to sleep supplements, a lot of them focus on the sleep, and while that does help enhance recovery, because the deeper sleep and the better sleep you get, the better your body recovers. But HD Muscle kind of took that approach further, and instead of relying on sleep ingredients to enhance recovery, it's also put in recovery ingredients as much as it has for sleep, I guess. So it's got valerian root, tryptophan, 5-HTP to help with sleep, and then it's also got Vita Cherry Tart Cherry, which is an ingredient known to help with recovery, and it's kind of just again not your typical approach as we've come to expect from HD Muscle. As for Kidney HD and Liver HD, these are also great examples of HD Muscle's premium approach. So the Kidney HD actually has a rather large 9-capsule serving size, which is up there with some of the biggest I've seen. I think 10 capsules might have been one of the biggest I've seen, but that's 9 capsules for a single serving. This isn't a 2-serving thing that you could split into 2, and this is just their suggested single serving. That one includes things like astragalus at 4 grams per serving, ALA, cordyceps, reishi mushroom, pine bark, and estrogen to help with absorption of everything. But it is, again, dedicated to helping overall kidney health, including benefits such as improved blood flow and bladder health, help with blood pressure and filtration, and antioxidant support. So it's a very comprehensive supplement, as you'd expect from HD Muscle. These aren't like $20, $30 formulas that the brand's brought together to help with these areas. These are fully loaded supplements, and they aren't exactly cheap. The Kidney HD is one of its more expensive products, and it's $69.99. Sleep HD, I believe, is $50 or $49.99. And then you have Liver HD, which is up there in price as well. That one's $55. And that one is also a dedicated organ support supplement, of course, designed to help with liver health. And it is indeed loaded as well. And the thing I liked about this is they've put Tudker in this, which is typically a supplement you see sold by itself. And even by itself, compared to your, I guess your more common standalone single ingredient supplements, like what would be another good example, Citrulline Glutamine. This is, Tudker by itself is usually quite high in price. But HD Muscle hasn't used this ingredient just on its own for Liver HD. It's combined Tudker with a whole bunch of other ingredients, and it's some solid dosages. You've got N-acetylcysteine in there, milk thistle, both of those at 1 gram each per serving, Citrulline Glutamine at 200 milligrams, and estrogen to help with absorption. But yeah, Tudker's in there as well, and at a full 250 milligrams per serving. So it's a really premium formula. Again, as I said, with with kidney and sleep, this is kind of to be expected. If you've seen its other supplements, there isn't really a product, I would say, HD Muscle loses its consistency with. They're all very well put together supplements, or all very well formulated and have their kind of comprehensive, complete approaches and goals. So it's well worth checking out, especially if you haven't seen or heard of HD Muscle before. It is a Canadian company and you can buy directly from the brand. Just go to its website. And depending on your country, you may get a different selection of supplements. But definitely check them out. Again, they were incredible newcomer to the industry. And I think these latest selection of supplements is just another reflection of its ability and how well it's doing. So I'm excited to see where they go from here. In fact, I approached Dorian, who works with the brand, Dorian Hamilton, for an interview. So hopefully that will be the interview we get this week. But, we've been keeping them consistent, and hopefully that one comes to fruition. The next story we have, this is the only single story from a brand in this episode, but this is an awesome one to see. This is Huge Nutrition's collaboration with the reputable reviewers over at Review Bros. We posted about this earlier in the month, I think it was, about the two teaming up, coming together to create a supplement with a special edition version of Huge Nutrition's pre-workout Rect, and it's going to be called Rect Extreme. These were details originally confirmed in the first post, and Review Bros said that they had formulated this thing from the ground up. So this wasn't going to be a special edition where they've just thrown in this ingredient, thrown in that ingredient. They've worked with Huge to put together this thing, come up with all the ingredients and dosages, and make it stand out, I guess, and I guess tailored to their desires, their needs, and whatever. And last week we finally got a glimpse at the formula, and true to what Review Bros said, this thing does indeed have a formula that's very different from the regular Rect. If you've seen Huge Nutrition's original pre-workout Rect, it's not a pushover. It's pretty damn stacked. It's pretty damn loaded. Loaded with ingredients for energy, focus, pumps, and performance. The full comprehensive approach. And the dosages are solid. Now with the Rect Extreme, which is the Review Bros collaboration with Huge, it's gone for a more balance, a balance leaning more towards energy and focus. So it's a much harder hitting stimulant focused supplement. In fact, there aren't a lot of ingredients for benefits outside of energy and focus. The two real compounds it has for those areas is citrulline, pure citrulline dose at 6 grams per pumps, which is a solid dose, and then you've got 4 grams of beta-alanine to support performance and endurance. The rest of the formula, which there is a lot of, is mostly or realistically for energy and focus. It does have paradoxine grains of paradise in there to help with thermogenesis, which is it's a weight loss ingredient, but a lot of the other ingredients are for the energy and focus side. So this the supplement not only, I guess, very definitely separates itself from the original, but it lives up to that extreme name because, again, this is called Rect Extreme, so it does kind of make sense that it leans more towards the energy and focus side. But just to give you an idea on some of the ingredients it has, you get 600 milligrams of alpha GPC for focus, iridorensis is in there, DMHA is in there, hygenamine, huperzine A, alpha-yohimbine, theanine, and it does have a good amount of caffeine in there, with a similar combination to the original Rect with 250 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous and 100 milligrams of dicaffeine malate, which is the dosages and forms that you get in the original Rect. But on top of that, to help, I guess, separate it from the original and make it that more extreme version, you also get 168 milligrams of caffeine citrate. So it is a higher caffeinated formula. Really, again, just reinforcing that name, Rect Extreme, and looking at the formula. And I've experienced the original, and I actually quite like the comprehensiveness and balance of the original. But looking at the formula of this, I definitely have no doubt it's going to be a more extreme, more intense version, especially with the alpha-yohimbine in there, the DMHA, the high caffeine. It would be one hell of a ride, and hopefully we'll get our hands on that to find out for ourselves. The last lot of stories we have, as I mentioned, this episode doesn't feature a lot of brands, just a lot of products from those brands. The last set of stories we have come from Cellucor, who dropped a mountain of releases last week. First off, the brand released a natural zero version of its C4 Smart Energy drink, which is its energy and focus beverage, designed more for, again, energy and focus as opposed to just energy. The natural zero version is essentially a version that's free of artificial sweeteners. The original already had no artificial flavors and colors, so it's essentially a no artificial color, flavor, and sweetener energy drink. It does only come in the 12-ounce can, which is the size available for the original C4 Smart Energy. But yeah, so it comes in that smaller can. It has all of the same main ingredients, including 150 milligrams of caffeine per can. Cognizant acetylcholine is also in there. N-acetyltyrosine is in there as well. And that caffeine is natural caffeine with an over tea branded natural caffeine. Alongside that, Cellucor also launched a new version of C4 Ultimate Carbonated. So it's the energy drink version of C4 Ultimate, which features a much more loaded, comprehensive combination of ingredients compared to the regular C4 Carbonated. Again, kind of similar to the regular C4 versus C4 Ultimate. The new version, it kind of drops its transparency and switches to a style of labels more like C4 Carbonated, where it kind of just lists the ingredients in the other ingredients section. It doesn't have that more traditional supplement facts panel where you get kind of the dosages of some of the things. That was the case with the original C4 Ultimate energy drink. But just to note, it does still feature a lot of those main ingredients that were in the original version. It just doesn't list them alongside the dosages. So it still has carnosine beta-alanine, citrulline malate, beta-pyrobutane, taurine, caffeine, alpha-size alpha-GPC, and N-acetyl-L-tyrosine. The only ones that are no longer in there that were in the previous version are arginine AKG, alpha-yohimbine, and huperzine A. And Zembrin. So has a less variety, but it is still intended to be that more ultimate performance, a more comprehensive version compared to the regular yellow C4 Carbonated. And while those two are great stories, the Natural Zero C4 Smart Energy and the C4 Ultimate Carbonated V2, the biggest story from the Cellucor last week was that the brand came out with its highly anticipated RTD version, or on-the-go version of C4 Dynasty, which was its special edition pre-workout that launched last year, featuring the most loaded formula we had seen from Cellucor to date. And they've put it into an RTD. Now, when we did an podcast interview earlier in the year with Greg from Cellucor, and he said they would be trying to pack this thing out as much as they can, and that is indeed what they've done. This thing has 16 grams of active ingredients, which is, it's worth making note here. When you look at RTDs, so when I say 16 grams of actives, that's a lot for an RTD. For a pre-workout, for a regular powder pre-workout, that's fairly typical, but the reason it's so impressive with an RTD is because, as far as I know, I have never seen a brand with a pre-workout RTD with more than 15. It's not as easy to put together all the ingredients you get in these pre-workout powders into a beverage, let alone make it taste good, let alone make it cost effective. And Cellucor has done that with C4 Dynasty. It's just loaded the shit out of this thing. It doesn't have as many ingredients and as the original C4 Dynasty, but it is not damn far off. In fact, the formula in this drink, I would say, is more robust, more well-rounded than a lot of pre-workout powders. And this is a beverage. Again, it's kind of worth taking note that you can't really compare powders to pre-workouts powders to drinks. But it doesn't have any creatine, which is something you see a lot with drinks, obviously. But it still has a ton of a lot of other things. Each bottle of the C4 Dynasty On-The-Go includes 6.4 grams of carnosine beta-alanine, which is one of the key dosages and ingredients Cellucor put in the original C4 Dynasty powder. There's also a gram of taurine, 400 milligrams of N-acetyl-L-tyrosine, Elevate TP, Alpha Size 8, Alpha GPC, Estrogen to help with absorption, Huberzine A, Alpha Yohimbine, which I thought was a cool little addition to throw in there, as it's not really something you see in pre-workout beverages, and it's a solid stimulant. And there's also 350 milligrams of caffeine, as well as citrulline, with a combined 8 grams of citrulline coming from 6.5 grams of pure citrulline and then 1.5 grams of premium citrulline nitrate. So it's a very robust pre-workout RTD, one that if you are pushed to not having a powder and you got to get something from the cooler, I would find it difficult to find something that's as comprehensive as this. Again, 16 grams of actives is a shitload for a pre-workout RTD. I think I've seen 12, maybe a little bit more than 10. I don't think I've seen anything up in that 15 gram range. But yeah, it's a beast. And the thing is it's expensive, obviously, because it's an RTD and it's C4 Dynasty, but it's not that bad. Cellucor's website has it for $50 for 12, which I think is what's like $4, just over $4. But they have a lot of coupon codes floated around. In fact, we just added them to our no commission Stacked Insider program. They gave us a 20% discount code, which puts it down to $40, and that makes it. I mean, what's the math? My math isn't that great, but it's that puts it around the $3 mark, and it's somewhere between $3 and $3.50, and that again, that for a single serving bottle on the go. I mean, it might not be that price in retailers and stores, but that's a solid thing to be grabbing if you're short on a pre-workout, forgot your tub or whatever, and you need something on the run. You can definitely check out all of that. Everything from Cellucor, everything from Ghost, everything from HD Muscle and the upcoming Review Bros Huge Nutrition collaboration on our website. A lot of them are featured stories, so they should be in the top section still. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed the roundup. We look forward to getting another interview on later this week. And once again, and as always, thank you for listening.